Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where entrepreneurs, business owners, and self-employed professionals publish to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. We're doing a series of spotlights on remarkable people, places, and things from across the country and in your town. And joining me on this segment is Maurice Ellis. He's the owner of 328 Studios out of Phoenix, Arizona, providing graphic and web design services. Maurice, welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you so much, Mark, for having me today.
Maurice, tell us a little bit about 328 Studios and who are the types of folks that you serve?
So 328 Studios is a visual arts company that does with graphic design, web design, social media. I feel like over the past couple of years, it has expanded because the world is ever changing. So now we have Facebooks, we have Instagrams, we have TikToks. And my job is to help companies keep up with that by providing great graphic design. I feel like many companies may not have the resources in-house, and that's where I come in, is to be able to offer those resources. But this year, I'm really targeting not just small business, but those people who are kind of doing their side hustle. So maybe they're driving for Uber, maybe they're driving for DoorDash, maybe they're a writer, maybe they're just having a car washes, or maybe they're doing resume writing. Whatever it is, I'm here to provide services that help them stand out and market themselves on Instagram and all social medias and things like that.
That's really interesting. That the side hustle, I totally understand. Like if you're a resume writer, as I understand, but an Uber driver, do they really benefit from having branding on their social properties or websites?
I'm not sure, but the thing is, I feel like we can always look our best. And for me, I've been doing branding and graphic design for a while, and I realized that sometimes it's the little things that make an influence. So when I was doing graphic design for a youth organization, I put in the details. So every little detail mattered, the type of orange we had, the type of shirt we had, and the quality. And for some people, that really mattered. And I got so many compliments about that. So I feel like whatever we can do to look our best. And so maybe it's just beyond you're just being an Uber driver, but maybe that's a start. Maybe your idea is to have a business and you need business cards. Maybe your idea is to meet connection. I think with Uber driver and DoorDash, you can meet so many people, and it will be disappointing to miss an opportunity because you weren't ready to brand yourself.
That makes a lot of sense. And you mentioned earlier that, the world is ever expanding and all these platforms keep popping up. Tell me about what's the importance of what you do and how you help them stay up to date and connected on all those platforms. What's so important about keeping up like that?
I think for me, the biggest thing is consistency. And it's consistency across the board. So many times when I help companies, it seems that they're everywhere. It seems that they have one color scheme here, a different color scheme here, a different style in different places. And for me, it's creating solutions that are consistent across the board, from websites to graphic design to social media posts, even the voice. So how you say things, the personality that comes behind it. I have worked with somebody who started with me and with this youth organization. I'm excited to keep her on just because she does a great job representing the company as it was herself. So my thing is providing the consistency across the board and staying updated. For me, I'm not gonna lie, my Facebook hasn't been posted on since 2014, and I just got busy. So right now, I actually hired somebody to handle my social media to make sure that I'm on top of the same things that I'm telling clients to do, is provide consistency. So if you're gonna start that blog post, make sure you continue to blog post. So don't just post one or two, but continue it forevermore, because that's how you build the reputation. That's how you build awareness about your company and what you do.
I'm sure a lot of people in many fields can relate to that. Shoemakers' kids have no shoes because they don't have time to make their own shoes. I totally get that. So tell us, Maurice, what's like the most common challenge you hear when somebody reaches out and says, Maurice, I need your help? What are the most common things people want help with now?
So most of it is just graphic design and web design and stuff like that. I think the thing is also my biggest challenge is for them to understand the value. So I feel like now, especially the design industry, has been inundated by Fivers and these companies that provide these services for cheap. And the thing is, it's hard to portray the value. But the thing is, I feel like it's a common saying, what you sow in is what you get. So my thing is when you sow into somebody who's a professional, that's what you're going to get, is the expertise. So even with web designs, we have things like Wix, we have things like WordPress. And people go, hey, this would be great. But the thing is, that stuff doesn't it's not prepared for the ever-changing world. For example, what they call search engine optimization and making sure you show up on Google. Or now it's like people are not even going to Google. They're going to Facebook. They're going to Instagram and making sure that your website or whatever service you offer is prepared to meet those people.
That makes a lot of sense. Maurice, tell us a little bit about like your inspiration. What inspired you to get into graphic design and web design? How did you get started?
So it's funny talking about inspiration because my tagline for my business is inspiration meets color. So I believe in God. I'm a person of faith. And for me, how I got into it was I used to do it in high school. And I'm ashamed to say, I used to start off in Microsoft Word. And I used to make these flyers for my church and my school. Then I went to the University of Arizona. And then I started hearing about Adobe and things like that. I'm like, oh my goodness. So even with getting into that stuff, it just started off as a little side hustle. It started as a hobby, and that forever changed, into something that has a business today.
Totally understand. Hey, Maurice, for our listeners out there that could use help with their websites, with any type of graphic design, especially on all their platforms, how do they find you online, learn more, and connect with you?
Okay, so I do have a website, 328, as in the numbers, studios.co. It's important to know it's .co. A lot of people get it confused with .com, but it's .co. And then I also they can find me on Facebook, Instagram at 328 Studios, or they can write me by email at Maurice, MAURICE, at 328studios.co.
Maurice, this is terrific. Thank you so much for taking the time and sharing with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Yes, thank you, Mark, for having me. It was great being on today.
That was Maurice Ellis. He's the owner of 328 Studios from Phoenix, Arizona, serving the world with graphic and web design services. This segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where business owners, self-employed professionals, and entrepreneurs publish to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for tuning in.